ask myself whether the output of particular ministers is up to the mark. I am not the final authority, and if they're not up to the mark, I'm required to act. But if the output measures the expectations, then I don't have any strong reasons to heed the call.
Okay.
The calls come from all kinds of reasons. NDC wanting to destabilize your government is one. There are people who are also looking for jobs. I'm not disputing that there is quite a lot of attention on it. But I also think it is important for us to have a really holistic look at this matter and be certain of what we're doing. But as I say, it's not no responsible leader, president, prime minister will announce, I intend to reshuffle my no. If you're going to do it, you do it. If you're not going to do it, you just continue.
Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Indeed. So that's how the cookie crumbled in the north. The president spoke on the reshuffling issue. Look, let me ask this, okay? Clearly, it is entirely the president's prerogative to determine who he appoints to assist him in achieving his vision. So if the president says that most of the people he has appointed are doing an outstanding job in helping him fulfill his vision, is the president simply telling us that where we are today as a country was his vision?
That's an interesting question. But Kojo, let me differ small on the point of the entirely the president's responsibility. Do you know why we don't allow that? It's because the general thinking around Lord Acton's dictum is that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's the reason why we put in place small checks, be from party standards through to the governance structures. It's the reason why governments that are responsible continually renew their mandate in terms of legitimacy with the people by being in the good books of the people. So, for example, I appoint 8 people, and let's not forget, the ultimate power resides with the people. The people then give a part of that power to somebody to make some decisions. At every point in time, the people can come in and say that, no. This is how we think you should go, or this is how you should actually be engaging. That's why feedback systems runs in government. That's why people go for elections and they renew mandates. That's the ultimate one. But in a country where it's difficult to get any review of a governance structure within the 4 years without having to go for the final election, there are systems we put in place, like the media, where the ordinary people can voice their opinion and other things about how governance is going. So the government takes the notes and say, no, we can fix this. We should change this guy. We should actually bring in another person. And that's even why government had feedback systems in states. That's why there's a director of research. There are monitoring and evaluation units within the governance. If it was absolutely the president's or the in this case, the monarch's role to determine wherever and at will to put whoever he wants in the system, we wouldn't have had all of these systems in place. So I really do not think that our system was fashioned out right from the beginning to be a system that says, do whatever you want, and we only review after 4 years. Because it has very serious consequences. It's the reason why when the ministers are even appointed, they go through parliamentary probe of a sort and go through all the appointment processes. It's because we did not think that it should be absolutely one person's decision. That's why when the feedback comes in, you should at least consider it and use a system that people feel is representative of their views. I get the impression that we sometimes turn or choose what will make us more comfortable. So the president is saying, oh, these are people who perform with some standards that are very extraordinary. At least if the monitoring and evaluation department in the office of the president has shared their evaluation of these ministries and shared the research work they've done on them. If, for example, we had had this being backed by the Afrobarometer reports over the period, or by the surveys that have actually reviewed ministers' work, by when people speak to the survey people, that would have been more, representative of the reality on the ground. But ultimately, if what he's saying is opposite the reality on the ground, then the question becomes, who is feeding the president with the evaluation here? How is he doing the evaluation? And whether that's in the interest of who gave him the job. I hope you get my point.
I've had conversations with a former president before. And the lessons I learned from speaking with him was one thing. A lot of your ministers would not tell you the truth.
Yeah.
A lot of your ministers won't tell you the truth. So what you do as a president is not always to listen to them and the excuses they give you. What you do as a president is to also go to town sometimes and listen. It's not all about your party members or your cabinet or ministers telling you everything you need to know. There should be some persons within your party who will tell you the truth. It's the reason even here in this country you have party general secretary and chairpersons sitting in cabinet. At least they can communicate to the president, tell the president what is happening. Because the party is the one that runs the election to bring the government into office. Having said that, it's important we ask ourselves some few questions. So we've talked about checks. Does Parliament really do a good job when it comes to checking these ministers? Well, Osechi Mensah Bonsu says some of these people who are supposed to be in charge of policy come for vetting and say, I am now going to learn when I get to the ministry. And they are passed. So automatically, these are people who are going to, like we're saying, going to find their feet when they get into the office.
The president believes they have.
Good. I'm going to the next point. The Council of State, upon whose advice the president is supposed to appoint these persons, is just advisory, not binding. And you've seen the president make the point that I have appointed these persons subject to the constitutional provision of consulting with the Council of State. I have never seen the situation where the president has come back to say, after speaking to the Council of State, I have dropped these nominations or appointments. In all the times the president has said, subject to the approval or subject to the constitutional provision that says, based on advice of the Council of State, it's just the procedure. So the Council of State itself, that advisory body, not binding. It doesn't really make a lot of impact there. So when you look at all of these things, the reality is it is subject to one person. Yes, the current parliament put it to a vote. And there you saw the situation where, they said these persons do not qualify based on responses they gave. Some was a clear case of competence. We saw the Hawa Kumsin case. They said, if you listen to Mavis Hawa Kumsin, you were clear in your mind that she wasn't going to be a good minister of fisheries. She had no knowledge of the sector which she was going to head. So don't vote for her.
She out of 30.8 million, we could have found way more better people to do that job.
So it still went to Parliament.
But would they have been outstanding?
And she was passed. That's the question. So the point here is that the reality, and Machiavelli says, he who thinks of how life is on a path of preservation, and he who thinks of how life ought to be is on a path of destruction. What our politics is that once the president is comfortable with you, you remain a minister, and the president told you that he would not take disloyalty. This is a president that believes in loyalty.
Listen, I think that it's not even just the president, but the presidency. And I was just trying to go back into the thinking of the people who are closest to the president. Check this out. Gabi Asario Trader, who not too long ago made a post, and this is what he posted, that it is as if a reshuffle will suddenly end the war in Ukraine, bring down inflation, and make the city stronger than the dollar. I don't think that the people around the president necessarily believe in, the calls that people are making, including the group within the NPP itself that came out to suggest that, listen, we have substitutes. If you don't have, we can suggest names for you so that you can make a change. I brought the political angle to it in terms of how this will play out. Remember that a lot of the ministers are from Parliament, and I still continue to make that point. The president understands that it will be political. Raymond disagrees, but it will be suicidal to touch the current ministers who are MPs. Because it will be dangerous for him.
I don't know about that. I mean, he's definitely considering that. he considered it in appointing them. So obviously it's a consideration. Whether it will be dangerous for him right now is another question altogether, because I can only see positives of a reshuffle. I can only see positives.
A
Because
reshuffle in terms of you're not performing, so get out of my government, or I'm taking you to another ministry.
Oh, you are not performing, so get out. Yeah, I'm taking you to another ministry. It doesn't really achieve anything at all. So anyway, listen, it's not our views that matter, it's yours. So call us, okay? 0302 216 541 055 1111 997. Look, people who have been voting NPP all their lives are not going to suddenly change. They will continue to vote NPP if that is the party they associate with. Okay, but it is those who you need to come and add to your base so that you win an election. They are the ones you need to impress with the decisions you make. And right now, I don't know which of those swing voters will be unhappy with a reshuffle. Anyway, we've got some text messages, some tweets, and so forth, haven't we? Let's read a few of those while we're waiting for some calls.
Yes, let me do this one. It's actually from Derel Zami. He says the man in charge of reshuffling says his ministers are doing well, and he's even blaming the NDC for the reshuffling cause. So what can we do? This one is from Ifokomi. The president doesn't believe in reshuffling, and Mo Mukhtar said reshuffling long overdue. Ajete says, if outstanding means enriching themselves, evading accountability for performing woefully, while critical sectors of the economy fail and lying to the citizens, then by all means he can agree with himself. Rotten government is what Ajete feels says. Black Grego says, do the staffers really brief the president every morning? I doubt. Now, Big Stepper Adam says, sure, they've been outstanding and watching the economy on autopilot. And Enyamenko Ray says, the president lives in his own world and not in touch with the reality on the ground. Kwame Sarkodie, Oga, please, nobody wants to drop from the bus of Yenti Obiao. Even Dr. Osofrie says he won't go anywhere. so those are some of the comments people already suggested.
Maybe by outstanding, he means they are standing outside the country somewhere and just observing us. All right, let's go to Ablekuma. Mohammed is on the line. Mohammed, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you for calling us.
And thank you for your good work. May God reward you abundantly.
You too.
My word here is, you see, truth is life. And lying brings causing financial loss to the state. I don't know if I'm correct. The reason why I'm saying this is, you see, the NDC MPP, it's like they are fooling the nation. They are even destroying the nation. Because of the reason here is, if you look at what is going on in the motherland, everything becomes like we are playing with people like Nkwane Kwane. Look, we are going to do Ghana card. And Ghana card, you can't get Ghana card without having a birth cert. You can't have a passport without birth cert. Why did they using our mind playing like that? It's not good. We should make sure that the nation is good for the nation builders. But if we are using our mind to rule, it's not good. There are rules and regulations for the nation already. So we should follow the pipeline and then the nation will go forward. Thank you for your good work. May God reward you abundantly.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, listen, we're going to Koforidia, where our very own Salifu is. Hi, Salifu. Good morning.
Hi, Koyo. Good morning to
Yes.
Good
so, what
morning
are
to
your
your
thoughts?
team.
Yes, indeed. What are your thoughts on the president's response?
Before I come to that, I want to congratulate you to making reshuffle at your morning show, making my daughter Mama V to take control. That is good reshuffle. Yeah, back to the president's talk about reshuffle. Could you?
Yeah.
We, those who are outside, must understand the partisan politics society. The society is saying that no contribution, no job. And for that matter, those who helped President Akufo-Addo to become president, he is very, very aware because he has been in the game for more than 40 years. And therefore, he will keep them. They are loyal to him. They are supporting him. and he wants to go on retirement with them. So we should understand him. He has 2 years to go on retirement. And those who contributed to his success, he's going to keep them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Salifu. Thanks for that. Listen, call us 0302 216 541 or 055 1111 997. We'd like to hear some of the new callers or those who don't call us so regularly. Na is in Kolibu. Hi, Na. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you, Na.
Thank you. In this reshuffle, in my view, that Akufo-Addo should not only reshuffle, but reduce the size of the ministers. Not only reduce drastically the size of the ministers. They are too much for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Na from Kolibu. Hamza is in Ashaiman. Hi, Na. Hamza, good morning.
Good morning, Kojo. I'm sorry.
Small.
Yeah, thank you for the good work you are doing, Mama.
God bless you, Hamza.
Kojo?
Yes.
I always say this. They have decided to do whatever they want. You can clearly see from what they are doing. They are failing. They are not accepting responsibilities. They keep blaming Russia, Ukraine, and other things. And so, they have planned this since they left power in 2008, when Nkrumah ended his term, that they want to rule this country for about 30 years before. So that is why they are confident. The other time I said it, the president has said time and over again that he is handing over power to MPP government, and then he has mean it. He will do it. And then, these oppositions are very timid. And so they will do. The other time I said, let's leave it for them. Let's do whatever they want to do with this country. When they came, you can see these sensitive areas, Supreme Court. Now they are appointing MPP people who were judges. So many they were judges. Now they appointed them to the Supreme Court. The others from appeal court. So their meaning from when they came, they changed EC. Now the Supreme Court, look at it. It's everywhere that Ghanaian we were having hope that if there is anything, we go for it. Now you can see the ruling. And so we should leave it to them. We should leave the country to them because they have already said that they own the country. They should do whatever they want with the country. Then when they finish with it, they should handle it back to the competent people to reorganize the country for it. Thank you, Kojo.
Thank you, Hamza. Thanks for calling us. And Kwame is at airport. Hi, Kwame. Good morning. Yes.
You know what?
Kwame.
Yeah, you know something. What I'm reading into all these things that I'll take off the NDC anger, but talking about, he said some people want a job, referring to his own people. So what I am reading into it is that he is having Team A. And if Team A is not performing, how can he replace them with Team B? You see, and this is leading me to another angle to Adjustable as you know, the speaker will be giving his bet on her, whether she should still be in parliament or not. And so for the president to show her the evidence, to me, it's an indication or due influence on the speaker, telling him that this is what I want. I don't want to work with her, so please let her out of parliament. That's what I'm ready to, because if I did not do that, Adjustable would have still been in government right now. Because in the president, there is no other people to replace the current team. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kwame. Papa Bisu is in Accra. Hi, Papa. How are you today?
Brother. Good morning, my brother. Good morning to the team. God bless you all for the good work you're doing for the country. Now, listen. You see, this aspect of the president refusing to do reshuffle, blaming it on opposition and all these things, I don't even get it. I don't get it at all. This country is sinking. Just look at it. A disgraceful rating from the SMP. And when we are talking, you are just say things that is uncalled for as president of Ghana. I'm not surprised. We are where we are because look at the American deal like this. He said he was misled. He was misled.
Is that what he
so
said?
When Ejaku was booted out of government, he said he was misled. He's the president. So right now, he's in his misleading, what do you call it, mood. Doesn't know what is happening. You understand me? I'm not surprised because Matinamidu said the president of Ghana is a mother separate of all corruption. So knowing very well that, he couldn't even sack or reshuffle his cousin, the finance minister. If he has to touch others, they will complain. Are you getting my point? So the stabilization of his government will have happened. So because of that, he's just clueless, silent. So let's leave him to do whatever he's doing. But nobody should say that the NDC in Parliament are timid. They are never timid. Never timid. Okay. We shall see when the right time comes. Thank you,
Papa. Thank you, Papa, for calling us. Let's go to Ablikuma South, where Frank is standing by. Frank, how are you?
Kojo, I'm good. Good morning.
Good morning to you too.
Good morning to your study view. Kojo, I really think that the president doesn't have the word excellence in his DNA. Because a captain that has led us or has take the ship and the ship is now sunk, he called for a rescue mission on the way from our IMF. He's telling us that his ministers are excellent. I mean, it's quite laughable. But what can we do? We can only wait for our tongue to speak. So that's the only thing I have to say. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling, Frank. Let's take one more call. This is Samuel in Obuasi. Hi, Samuel.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for calling us.
Yeah, thank you for the good words.
Bless you.
Yeah, the question is, if Nanado never became president, so if Nanado was never president, I, for example, would I have forgiven Ghanaians? Because I thought Nanado was meant to be president and then put systems in place to get things to work. But look, so is he telling me that this is a great minister? In fact, my secondary school agri can perform better than this man with PhD. But is he telling me maybe Nanado is assessing his ministers according to his own standards? The standard is that any mediocre, any kind of performance is okay. But I'm telling him one thing, that he is collapsing MPP with his family and friends. That's all I will tell him. And if he's happy that as a president he collapsed his party, he should continue with these kind of statements that break the hearts of people like me. Some people who, I don't know, Nanado, God should bless him.
Samuel, thanks to all of you who called, and interesting thoughts, Moavi.
Well, I think that if you still went around to speak to a lot more people, people are still pushing for a reshuffle because they are not happy with the situation that we find ourselves in. Yes, there's Ukraine, there's Russia, things are hard. But we could do a lot more better. I guess that's just what people are saying. And they can't seem to find the answers from the crop of ministers that we have. Maybe not all of them, but certainly we're pointing our fingers at the finance minister, at least, But it's just that the president doesn't see what others see.
All right. Ray.
I mean, I think it boils down to accountability for me. Is it the case that we give unfettered powers to the president to decide that, well, even when we all know the Uton bus is crashing and it's actually in the ditch already, and the evidence on the ground suggests that we are on the wrong path, at least The last Afrobarometer survey suggested that a higher population in this country were of the opinion that we are heading in the wrong direction. What are the remedies for heading in the wrong direction? If all the people who are supposed to steer us in the right direction are performing very, very well, there's a disconnect somewhere. The disconnect is that the governor doesn't feel accountable to the governed. And that's something we should fix. Fundamentally, if we're able to fix that, if we're able to make those we have given power to fear the people that are supposed to be the ones with the power, comments like, well, it's for this or that reason will not appear. They'll consistently seek to renew the mandate by insisting on doing what the people want and doing what's always right by the people.
So I'm answering your question. Have we given the president unfettered powers? Yes.
Well, I mean, I just say one thing. Yes, the president likes loyalty. He says that's the most important to him. But of course, you can get competent people who are definitely loyal. 2, maybe, just maybe, the president did not want to announce on radio that he has plans of doing a reshuffle. Just maybe. That's what I have to say.
Okay, this is what I'll end with. You've almost all of you have referenced Afrobarometer.
Yeah.
The statistic is that 35% of Ghanaians say the country is going in the right direction. That means 65% of them don't say that the country is going in the right direction. 65%, that is significant. 65% of us. So if the president thinks we're going in the right direction, that means that the president's view of the country is in disagreement with the majority of Ghanaians. The president's view of the performance of his government is at variance with the majority of Ghanaians' view. Now, look, he used a certain expression. He didn't just say that they are outstanding. He said that they exceeded expectation. That's serious. Okay? Beyond expectation, that's what he said. Beyond expectation. Okay, so I mean, maybe I certainly didn't expect the dollar to hit 9 cedis. That was beyond my expectation. I didn't expect inflation to hit 30%. That was beyond my expectation. I didn't expect to be downgraded, our bonds to become junk bonds, to be downgraded to CCC plus by Standard & Poor's. I didn't expect that. That is beyond my expectation. If that's what the president means, then fair enough. But if genuinely this president does not see anything wrong with the work of his ministers so far, that is a problem. Because you see, many people don't trust politicians. I am one of them. The reason why I don't trust politicians is because they hardly ever concede their mistakes. And a person who doesn't concede his mistakes will just keep making them. So where we are now in this country, if our leaders are going to keep making the mistakes that brought us here, we are doomed. That's why I'm concerned. Anyway, thanks to all of you for calling. We've got a little bit more concerning issues to deal with. When we come back, pre-mixed fuel being distributed by people who have been put there as political reward. Sounds familiar? More after these.
Whatever it is, make it MasterCard. Switch to card for all your payments. Make it MasterCard when creating memories with those you love. Make it MasterCard when streaming your favorite music album or TV series. Make it MasterCard when doing your usual supermarket run, in-store or online. When filling up your tank for a thrilling road trip, make it MasterCard, the safe and convenient way to pay.